Good morning, y'all. God bless all the kings and queens worldwide. Hope y'all feeling good today. I'm blessed and highly favored. Up, about to get ready to go on this trip to Atlanta. Business, work. God bless. How y'all doing today? I woke up early this morning, feeling good, feeling healthy, feeling blessed, feeling loved. And I go to my Twitter because I'm tagged in a bunch of shit, and I see DJ Akademiks talking about me. So DJ Akademiks, let me show y'all, because I'm about to show y'all. He was talking about me. So I watched it and I was like, wow, this thing, he's just a bozo for clown. But it says Akademiks responds to Mysonne and Casanova for blaming him for arrest. So I'm gonna let y'all see it because I want you to hear the clown shit he said.
I'm never in like your neighborhood. You're never in my neighborhood. I work at Complex. You claim you came there once. Complex asked me if they should ban you from the building for acting like you ran into me. You never ran into me. You came there for something else. Stop all that. Act tough with the tough guys. Please, act tough with the tough guys, not me. You don't get no strikes for, yo, I'm gonna fuck academic. You don't get no strikes with that. 6ix9ine is homeless with all the smoke. Act tough with him. Other people too. They're with all the smoke. Act tough with them. For you, I'm gonna invite you up to have a conversation with me, whether on my Twitch stream. Not every day struggle. I don't want to be on that platform with you. I don't want to sit across from you. I'm sorry. You could call up here. We could talk on the phone as men. That works. But I just feel like I blocked you by the way on Instagram, and Wayne will ask me why. It's like, oh, he's trolling. I know you're not trolling. You're picking on the weak. You're picking on the niggas who not about street shit. The niggas who were about street shit, again, this is not snitching. This is not dry snitching or nothing. It's in a fucking indictment. It points at 6ix9ine having issues with you. He's charged for all that shit. You never talk like that to him. Let's be clear. So let's have a conversation. I know you still want to be the big bad tough and huff and puff rapper.
Dude, you can talk like this when you're not a street nigga, but you can talk all this.
It doesn't give you strikes.
Sounds good. I ain't never said I was gonna put my hands on her.
Okay? Big on niggas who's telling you we don't bend, we don't break. You know what it is. You don't. So let's have a conversation as men. For the other people, whether it's the stars, whether it's the Joe Buttons, whether it's the myriad of other people who have commentary, I'll invite all y'all to talk to me directly. Also, Mysonne, you're a failed rapper in my eyes. You're the guy who, you didn't pop off as rap, but I do respect the fact that you have a lot of righteous and conscious efforts when it comes to the community. I respect that. And do I believe that a lot of times you grandstand and just try to point everything at me because you feel like you could rally up your base? I get it. But I invite you to come to talk to me rather than talking at me through your platforms. Y'all niggas don't reach out. Y'all just say what I got to say because it's very convenient. Mysonne, if you're here, and by the way, you just responded to my Twitter, call up. Let's talk. Because when you start asking, I could read your tweet out right now. Akademiks, why did you put up a video of your friend doing this? The video was public, my brother. You seem smart. You seem smart. Joe Budden seems smart. A lot of y'all seem smart. Even though y'all seem not well researched, y'all are smart. And when y'all act like I'm the one because y'all act like TMZ is just not the one of the... TMZ is funded by like $100 million. And when y'all act like a nigga who's never received funding in his life, he's made every dollar, made every opportunity. And when you act like I'm as big as TMZ, when we don't realize that they cut at least a 5-figure check for a video and they publish it, they broke news, I added context to it. And, you know, like, if I'll sit across from anybody, whether it's Mysonne, Joe, or anybody else, I'm like, you know what? In hindsight, I shouldn't have put it on my Instagram. Do I regret putting it on my YouTube? No, it's still on my YouTube. You know why? Because I added context to it. It's news. I could act like it doesn't exist, and y'all could be ignorant and try to fool y'all following. The feds, let me just tell everybody this. The feds don't only look to Akademiks and Vlad Page. They look at everything. They look at what you say. It's very disingenuous that all you niggas try to portray like, yo, like, y'all ignore that TMZ put it out. Oh, the feds don't look at TMZ put it. Definitely look at Akademiks. Why he posted? You're being very disingenuous, and you guys aren't dumb. You guys are very smart. So I encourage all of y'all, just like I was willing to have a conversation with Wayno today, I encourage all y'all, if y'all want to have that conversation, and if somebody has a connection to Mysonne right now, invite him to come talk to me. Because when you start getting on your soapbox and you can call me all type of names, he's a culture vulture, and you can say whatever. It sounds cute because you're trying to rally up your fan base because you're really probably in the back of your mind trying to hope to get an audience to promote music or whatever else fuck you're trying to promote. It's very weak. Come have a conversation with me. I'll do it on my Twitch stream. I ain't sitting down with most of y'all niggas because, to be honest, I don't think that's where it is at. And also, a lot of the energy y'all bring when trying to have a conversation is not something I want to sit down with. But we could have a conversation online. Let's get on my Twitch stream. But if you're just like ranting on your little Instagram, I'm not gonna comment on it. The 2,000 comments you got, my soul, is gonna be the highlight of your year. I'm sorry. That's nothing to me. Okay. Joe has a big platform. Me and Joe, we haven't talked for a while, but if Joe ever wanted to have that conversation again, like we had multiple times on Everyday Show, that's the difference between Joe and most of these other niggas. We talk directly about that shit.
Okay, so listen. This is here we go. So we can just be clear about all of this. We're gonna break this shit down because, like, it's unfortunate. First, it's unfortunate that somebody like Akademiks, who sits in his basement of his house, his mother's house, playing video games and talking about niggas' life, can call me a failed anything. I came in hip hop in 1998, got locked up, and still able to make music to this day. Music alone, and that's not my major source of funding, can pay my bills. Music alone pays my bills, my rent, my car note, my kids to go to school. Music alone. So when you called me failed, I never failed at anything I ever did. Never failed that. You will hope and pray that in 20 years that somebody even care who you are. I'm still able to put out music that makes money. I'm still able to do shows, and when I do shows, my shows are to capacity. They're not in the biggest arenas, but when I do a show, it's to capacity. I still got kids in my inbox saying that you changed my life. Your music, I listened to your music and it changed my life. Like in real life, not on Instagram, not some shit. Like in real life, I am relevant. In real life, I walk into parties and clubs and street, and people stop and tell me how I made an impact on their life through music. So somebody telling you, this is what happens. Somebody like Akademiks, who looked damn near 50, sitting, in the basement of his house with headphones, talking about somebody else's life, agitating beefs amongst little kids who aren't, haven't evolved enough, who dealing on ego. Somebody who's done that is able to call somebody like me failed. I've never failed at anything I've done. Nothing I've ever done, I failed at. Nothing. I came in music, I said I want to get a deal, I got a record deal. I put out music, I got classic verses. I put out music, I'm able to sell my music and fund whatever I want. I started saying I want to be an advocate, I did that. I started dealing with kids, I did that. Opened up my own organization, raising kids. I've never failed at anything. So when a coward like Akademiks can use a platform because he got followers, because he talk about the dumb shit that people are attracted to, he, in his mind, he's convinced you and these kids or whoever that he's somehow successful. You can't even go outside. Beloved, you can't even go outside. You're not respected by anybody. You won't sit in a room with nobody because you're scared for your life. You're not even man enough. You've never been able to sit across from a man and have a conversation. I would never utilize, I would never go on the platform. I would never call to speak to you. The reason why I speak at you, because you have shown me that you are anti what it is that I represent. The reason why I come up here and talk about you, because I know that if any kid is following you, that he's going down a dead end stream. I know that when somebody thinks that if I get amass a level of success by sacrificing these kids or by any means necessary, not any morals, principles, or values involved, that's not what I'm trying to do. That's what you represent. You represent that type of shit. We are totally two different sides of the spectrums. There's no need for me to have a conversation. I watch dudes who would like minds. I watch Joe try to change you, and you continue to go on. Not even continue, but go hard. I watch Jeezy say the shit. I have My man Nipsey told me how he had to walk out of an interview with you. They're like, niggas don't even want to be around you. No man of any caliber, no man of any high caliber or stature of a man wants to be around you. You don't represent, you've never made any good faith effort to try to change what it is that you represent. Because you're comfortable in that. You willing to sell. You see soul not for sale, your soul is already brought. You don't give a fuck. You don't care about it. You don't care about how you look. You don't care about who you affect. These kids that keep dying because of shit you telling them. 6ix9ine will be in jail, and you'll just keep putting up videos of him allegedly committing crimes, and then you'll say you just doing the news. Like, I don't understand. Tell that man that. Tell that man that. Go do a visit with him. You know, this is your man. That's what men do. See, my man's that's in jail, I go visit him. I send them money. I do shit that your man do. Not post shit that's going to incriminate them more while they fighting for their life. See, I don't know. I'm speaking about manhood. You speaking about being a blogger. Okay, cool. You just a blogger, but you involve yourself in street shit. When you making a chronological timeline and you profiting off, you actually like a drug dealer. You profit off the streets. You report everything that's going on to the streets. You give commentary. You ignite it. You know, you instigate it. You are profiting off the streets. So when you keep saying this, I'm just a blogger. Nah, you made yourself more than a blogger. When you in the streets, in the hood with the niggas, and you getting the first exclusive about what they did, and you amping it up, and you telling who's the toughest and who bust their guns and all that, you involved in the streets. You want to profit off the streets. You are profiting off people's demise. You profit off of street shit. So you want to keep saying you're a civilian and I'm just a blogger, and you want to talk tough to Casanova and see, this is what you do though. This is how you do. You antagonize people. You antagonize a man because you try to call out his his gangster, quote unquote, and say, yeah, you want to do it to me, but do it to somebody else, so he could go out there and listen to you, improve, and end up going to jail. That's what you want. That's the shit you've been doing. That's how you hype everybody up. That's like, you continue to do the same shit. It's cool, but it ain't cool for me. We represent something totally different. So when you sit there and say, talk to me, I would never talk to you. Why would I talk to you? You've proven that you I just want to let people know what it is that you represent. Because a lot of these young kids, it's no grown, I can bet you this. There's no 30 plus dude that's following Akademiks. It's just not happening. Of any good moral fiber, any good conscious, any level of manhood. These 20-year-old kids that's following you, that you tricking, that just want to be in the hype, that shit is cool. You got them in the matrix. They see followers. That's what the internet era has done. The internet era has told you whoever got the most followers are relevant. That's what y'all do. You know, that's the same shit that Joyner Lucas and them try to pull when I put out a song on Rather Than Reply, because it's hip hop. You know, you want to say, oh, you're not relevant because I don't have as many followers on Instagram. I got more followers in real life. Like in real life, I travel the world, real life, changing people's lives through music, through speaking, through, being in civil rights movements. Like, I travel the world changing people's lives every day. I'm not confined to my living room. I don't got to walk out my house and look around my back because I don't know who I offended. I don't know which niggas going to put their hands on me. Like, I don't have to live like that. So how do you think that you have some level of success because you got a platform that agitates nothing but ignorance and dumb, and you compare yourself? Like, you can't even compare to me. You would pray that 20 years from today, when you got in here last year, whatever it is, you would pray that in 20 years that somebody gives a fuck about what you're saying, that you're able to move around. Who pays you to go anywhere, Akademiks? Do somebody pay you and say, hey, I want Akademiks to come sit and talk about this because he's knowledgeable in this? If niggas cut the internet off right now, you nobody. You couldn't even feed yourself. You would survive. I get it. You was a cornball in school. Nobody talked to you. You figured out how to use the internet. And you have convinced yourself that you are somebody. You have convinced yourself that you have some level of relevance beyond stupidity. You believe that the shit that you selling makes you somebody. You're not selling nothing. You're selling a dream. Like, I'm real in real life, in real time. I have a following, I have a life, I have friends, I I have made an imprint on the culture. You've done nothing. Like, you've done absolutely nothing, my nigga. Like, nothing. You've done nothing. You have been nowhere. Nobody cares for you. Nobody likes you. Nothing. Nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. I don't know a nigga that I know that respects you. None of them. No real nigga I ever seen in my life respects you. You got 4 or 5 niggas that run around here on Twitter and argue with you all day for you and all that. And that shit is cool. And you want to compare yourself to me? A failed rapper? I've never failed at anything. I've never done anything I failed at. Anything. So, there we have it right there, man. It's just 2 different levels of man. You know? And you on the opposite spectrum. You on the wrong side as far as I'm concerned. You represent nothing. You represent absolutely nothing. You know? And when I look at Jay-Z's verse and you look at Meek Mill's album, you're able to see where we need to be going. You are anti everything that shit is. You know what I'm saying? You are so bad. I've been telling niggas you was bad for the culture before this shit happened. Been telling them when they had the shit, when you was up there and Joe, I was telling Joe, like, I don't even know how you sit across with a nigga like that. You know, you have more patience than me. Vic Menza wanted to put his hands on you. Joe cursed you out 1,000,000 times. Jeezy said, man, you're not even about that life, and you get gassing these kids and you're gonna get them hurt. You need to be, you got a platform, you need to be responsible. You're not willing or able. This is who you are. So it's no need for me and you to discuss. What you going to discuss? You going to tell me why it makes sense for you to put your friend allegedly committing a crime up, a video of an act that is considered a crime, allegedly, on your page for views? On YouTube and say, oh, in hindsight, I would have took it off my Instagram, but YouTube, I would have put it there because it's news and TMZ did it first. So what happens is this. Where is the level of loyalty and just respect? And you want to do the best you can to try to help a man that pretty much catapulted your platform. Like, why would I respect? Say, yo, you know what? This news, I don't got to report. This right here, that could harm him, because I know that nobody even, he's never been charged with this. This news right here, I don't got to report this. It's 1,000,000 things in the world, a bunch of shit. But this right here, I don't have to have on my platform. Out of respect. Because I want him to be free. Like, 6ix9ine is not my friend. So I don't want people to say, oh, I'm just want people to understand the level of cowardice and cowardness and lack of integrity and morals that this man possesses. I just need you to understand he's willing to. That's like saying, yo, if a nigga had my mom's up there, I'm going to throw it up because TMZ already got it. I might as well throw my mom's up there. Right? Would you do it to your mother? Would you do it to your blood brother? Would you do it to somebody that was close to you? Would you put a video of yourself up there committing a crime? Like, just think about it. It's just common sense. But somehow the internet has convinced you that what's real is fake. You know, the real morals and real consequences for acts don't exist. I know 6ix9ine, I ain't happy you put that up there. When you was trolling before and you was posting all this shit, he was happy. He was cool. Like, oh, yeah. You doing it. The Akademiks doing his job. But I bet you right now he ain't. I bet you now when he's sitting in that cell in hindsight thinking about all the shit that he allowed you to be there for and chronicleize and then probably hearing that you posted that shit. I know he's sitting in cell like, damn, man. I let this nigga talk me and ant me into doing a bunch of dumb shit for views. He definitely needs his own accountability and he has his own responsibility for his life, but as somebody who's supposed to be a friend, why would you add fuel to a fire? I would never, let me say it again, I would never sit down with Akademiks until Akademiks changes what he represents, when he were able to come and say, you know what, I made a mistake. As a man, I can realize that what I'm doing is a lot more harmful to the culture than it's productive, then we can have a. Other than that, I'm not talking to. About what? What? I don't need to talk to you. You've made your position clear on numerous occasions. Numerous people have sat up with you and tried to tell you, yo, this is some bullshit. Yo, this is some bullshit. You just continue to go on. Listen, I don't advocate for street life. I actually push people away from street life. What I advocate is for accountability and manhood. And as a man, a grown man, you make a decision that I willingly want to be involved in the streets. This is what I want to do in my life. Understand the consequences, understand the risks, but the reward to me is worth more than all of those. When you make that conscious decision as a man, after being given, because a lot of people just don't know. A lot of people just don't know. So they've been taught, and the only level of success they ever seen was somebody in the street. So they follow what they've seen. We are creatures of habit. We're creatures of our environment. So when you only person you ever seen making money was off the streets, when the only level of success the person that had the girl you wanted was a drug dealer, this is what you acclimate to. This is what you aspire to become, because the doctors and the lawyers don't live next door to us. The politicians don't live. Ain't nobody giving you a blueprint to get a legal job that can amass a level of wealth that satisfy the level of success that you want. There's nobody doing that. So what happens is you follow what you see. So what I'm trying to tell you is when you given those honest truths, and when people tell you, yo, this is what the ins and out of the streets is. Like I was. When I was young, they said, this is what comes with the streets. So when you take on that, when you put that jacket on, you got to take what comes with it. If you out there getting money, it's going to be dudes that you got to beef with. If you want to keep that territory, you're going to have to show that you're stronger than them. You're going to have to engage in them, or you're going to be preyed. This is what we was taught. So when we got in it, we understood that. So when we got pinched or we got knocked, we held that down as a man, because this was my decision. I'm taking the full responsibilities and accountabilities for my actions. That's what real men do. That's what I preach. I don't preach no. And what I understand is a lot of us in the streets were taught wrong. And a lot of us in the streets were taught wrong. Don't profit off the streets. Don't get the money off the streets. Don't get the fame off the streets. Don't get the notoriety off the streets. Don't get the girls because you're supposed to be this big gangster. And then when you get locked up, you turn into a civilian and you want to go home and, I'm just trying to get to my family. But that was the reason why you said you got drugs. That's the reason why you said you was in the streets, because you was trying to take care of your family. So make the decision. Don't wait till you get behind a wall and they say, yo, you got to tell on somebody or you're going to do time. And then you decide that made more sense. Nah, there's nothing real. There's no integrity in that. I don't give a fuck what position you hold. If I'm in a job with my friend and me and my friend do something, they come to me and say, what happened? I'm not telling on my friend, because there's a level of camaraderie. There's a level of respect and integrity. I call you somebody that I respect. I call you a friend. I call you somebody I love. So the minute that I make that conscious decision, I'm willing to deal with all of the consequences that come with that act. That's what I preach. I don't glorify criminality. That's the dumbest shit in the world to me. I glorify those men who made a conscious decision and said, yo, I fucked up. I did shit that I wasn't, but I enjoyed the fruits of this, so I'm going to deal with the ills of it like a man. And then when I come home, I'm going to change my life. But I'm not going to do it at the expense of somebody else and make sure they go to jail and they serve for consequences that I've done. No, I'm going to take my own consequences as a man. I'm going to deal with that. And when I'm finished, I'm going to change my mind frame, because now I know something else. Now I know another way. That's what men do. That's what I advocate for. Don't let these niggas try to tell you the rest of that bullshit. Oh, he trying to glorify criminals. Nah. I understand what a criminal is. A criminal is somebody who probably was lost. A criminal is somebody who was taught wrong most of the time, because the average person don't want to engage in crime. You take most of these dudes out the street that started rapping. You look at Jay-Z, you look at 50, you look at Meek, you look at how they evolved from the streets. They were quote-unquote criminals, and they gave them another opportunity. They gave them another way, and they were able to flip that shit and be more successful at their game than they was. They just wasn't given those opportunities from the beginning. I understand that. I've sat in jail with scholars who never coming home because their first interaction with life was crime. The first person who told them how to be successful was a criminal. It wasn't a stockbroker or a lawyer. It wasn't a doctor who said, yo, look, you can do this or you can do that. No, the first person who told them was a drug dealer, somebody in the street that was a muscle or whatever it is. So they capitalized off that platform. They took what they was taught and they excelled at it. Unfortunately, it was something negative. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I understand. I understand that it's brilliant men who have committed crimes. That if and when they make it back in society, their impact on society could shift and change. I've sat there and I've taken some of those Jews and hopefully I've been able to apply it properly. You know, so when I look at my DMs and see these teenagers telling me that I've changed their life, you know, I watch how they change their life based on something I said, you know, and I'm grateful for that, man. The reality of it is we just have to be conscious. These dudes is not just culture vultures, they scavengers. You know, Akademiks is the worst kind of scavenger because he attaches himself to you. He's a leech, like he grabs on to you and takes your energy. And then as soon as it gets hot, like when you put fire on the leech, they jump off. That's what happens. They don't stay with you. They suck all the blood out of you, use you up. When you get hot and you burn and they run and they attach themselves to something else. You know, that's what it is. So if you want to follow them, cool. I see a bunch of y'all dudes on here talking, you know, just coming up here saying just dumb shit. But this is for people that really have a moral compass that's similar to mine. I don't want to talk to academics. I don't want to sit down. I don't want to give his platform some credibility. I don't need you. If I was trying to get some credibility, then I would love to come. I don't give a fuck about. What you selling, I'm not buying. I'm not trying to help you sell it by using me. I'm not gonna validate a platform which you were a nigga with level of credibility I have. Because I'm real in real life. Like in real life standards. In real life standards. Like I'm real. I'm respected among respectable men. Men that you wouldn't even allow you in the same room with. I have respect amongst those caliber of men. So no, I don't have any interest in sitting down with them. And I'm going to keep exposing them. Every opportunity I can until niggas stop following and niggas start holding them accountable. See, what happens is you can't peacefully coexist with suckers. Because if you condone sucker shit, then you a sucker too. I ain't never been a sucker.